Turn on any news channel and you will see a parade of experts confidently predicting the future. They'll tell you where the stock market is going, who will win the next election, and what the next global crisis will be. They are confident, they are charismatic, and they have impressive credentials. But what if I told you that decades of research by the psychologist Philip Tetlock have shown that the average expert's long-range predictions are about as accurate as a chimpanzee throwing darts at a dartboard? And what if I told you that a secret, government-sponsored research project discovered a small group of ordinary people, a pharmacist from Nebraska, a retired filmmaker, a ballroom dancer, who were consistently, demonstrably better at predicting the future than even intelligence analysts with access to classified information? This is the remarkable true story at the heart of Philip Tetlock and Dan Gardner's landmark book Superforecasting. This is not a book about magical prophecies. It's a scientific investigation into the art and science of prediction. And honestly, it's also a guide to the specific, learnable habits of mind that separate the true seers from, well, the charlatans. Today on Geeky Philosopher, we're going to learn the secrets of these so-called superforecasters and discover how we can all learn to think more clearly in an uncertain world. The book begins with a pretty devastating critique of expert predictions. For decades, Tetlock has studied political and economic forecasts, and his conclusion is, really stark. The vast majority of pundits and experts are terrible at their jobs. Why? To explain it, he uses a powerful metaphor from the philosopher Isaiah Berlin, who divided thinkers into two categories, hedgehogs and foxes. Hedgehogs know one big thing. They have one grand, elegant theory that explains the entire world. They might be a die-hard Marxist or a free market fundamentalist. Hedgehogs are incredibly confident, they're great storytellers, and honestly, they're very popular on television, but they are also, as a group, just atrociously bad forecasters. They twist every new piece of data to fit their pre-existing theory, and, they rarely, if ever, admit when they are wrong. Foxes, on the other hand, know many little things. They are not committed to one grand theory. Instead, they're pragmatic, self-critical, and comfortable with nuance, complexity, and uncertainty. Foxes gather information from a wide variety of sources, and they're constantly updating their beliefs. So, foxes are, honestly, terrible guests on cable news because they're not super confident and, they often say things like, it's complicated. But here's the thing. They are, as a group, significantly better forecasters than hedgehogs. The secret to good judgment, as the book reveals, is actually to be more like the humble, curious fox and less like the proud, confident hedgehog. Segment 2, the first habit, thinking in probabilities. So what do these super forecasting foxes actually do? The first and most important habit is that they think in probabilities. A normal expert might say, I think there's a real chance of a recession next year. This statement sounds meaningful, but it's completely useless. So what does a real chance actually mean? Is it 20%? Maybe 60%? Honestly, it's impossible to tell if they were right or wrong. Now, a superforecaster, on the other hand, is, well, incredibly precise. They would say, I am 65% confident that there will be a recession in the next year. This is, honestly, a revolutionary act of intellectual honesty. Why? Well, because it makes their belief testable. A year from now, you can go back and see if they were right. Over time, you can track their performance and see if they are, well calibrated. Thinking in numbers forces you to be more rigorous. It moves your thinking from the vague, fuzzy world of opinions to the clear, sharp world of bets. It is the first and most necessary step to getting better at seeing the future. Segment 3, the second habit, the outside view first. Alright, so the next powerful tool that superforecasters use is to always start with the outside view. Most of us, when we try to predict something, immediately start with the inside view. We focus on the specific, unique details of the situation in front of us. If we're trying to estimate how long a project will take, we think about all the specific tasks involved in our project. A superforecaster does the opposite. They start with the outside view. They ask, what is the base rate for similar situations? They would ask, historically, how long has a project of this type and scope taken to complete? They start with the statistical reality, and then they adjust that number based on the specific details of the inside view. This is a powerful antidote to our natural human tendency to believe that this time is different. Usually, it's not. Starting with the outside view is a powerful tool for grounding your forecasts in reality, not wishful thinking. A hedgehog expert makes a big bold prediction and then defends it to the death, even as new evidence rolls in. A superforecaster's process is completely different. They treat their beliefs not as precious treasures to be protected, but as temporary hypotheses to be constantly tested. They are masters of the update. They are constantly seeking out new information, especially information that contradicts their current view. When they find it, they don't see it as a threat to their ego, they see it as a gift, and they adjust their forecast accordingly. But they do so with precision. They don't wildly swing from 70% to 30% based on one news article. They make small incremental updates from 65% to 68%, from 68% to 62%. Their thinking is like a dynamic living thing, constantly adjusting to the flow of new information. This requires a deep commitment to what we would call a growth mindset. The goal is not to be right from the start. The goal is to become less wrong over time. So what is the ultimate secret of the superforecasters? It's not a supercomputer in their brain, it's not access to secret information. It is a particular style of thinking. It is a mindset that is actively open-minded, curious and careful. It is a deep-seated humility that makes them comfortable with uncertainty and willing to admit when they are wrong. They are not trying to be the smartest person in the room, they are trying to be the most accurate. The book Superforecasting is not really about predicting the future. It is a profound and practical guide to the art of good judgment. It is a call to become more fox-like in our own lives. To be more curious, more self-critical, and more comfortable with the messy, probabilistic nature of reality. The skills of a superforecaster are the skills of a good scientist, a good historian, and a good philosopher. And the encouraging news is that these are not magical gifts. They are skills that can be practiced and a mindset that can be cultivated by any of us. In a world that is drowning in confident but often wrong expert opinions, the ability to think with clarity, humility, and precision is a superpower. It is the art of separating the signal from the noise. If you are a fellow fox, a seeker of nuance, and a student of clear, evidence-based thinking, then you are a part of this journey. Consider subscribing to Geeky Philosopher, where we are dedicated to exploring the tools that help us see the world more clearly. Thank you for your time.